Top of the morning, lads. Suave Beardson. Getting ready to play Unravel. Now, if you've been checking out what's available, you'll probably have noticed that my wife and I were playing Unravel 2. This is the first one of that 2-game series, but it's single player only. So I'm going to be playing that one on my own. And once I get the hang of this game and like figure out, you know, all the puzzles and the levels and everything like that, and just get to know the game better, I might start speedrunning it. That's the plan. I'm currently in the process of developing an auto splitter for it, so I can time the levels and all that stuff. But for now, we're just gonna hang back, swing around, and just have some fun. I need a break from the Metal Gear speedrun grind, so this seems like a fun game that's just not that hard to play and just a good time. I enjoyed the second one, and I have played a little bit of this one. I have played the first 2 levels just to see if I could get an auto splitter in development for it. So I played the first 2 levels so I could, you know, get some of the initial auto splitter setup and things like that done, but for now, I'm not going to be worried about any of that. I'm just going to play the game, have some fun with it. We're going to go new game, and just start from scratch. The second game was a lot of fun. There are some pretty significant differences between the second one and this one. In the second one, you don't run out of yarn. In this one, you run out of yarn. So there's like little spools of yarn throughout the level that you have to pick up and like beef your guy back up, because you'll see he gets like really skinny and when he starts running out of yarn. And there he is, my boy Yarny. We're just going to go straight on to the first level. Not really a whole lot we can do in here until then. First level's like kind of a tutorial level. It's fairly straightforward and easy. I don't know what it is about these games. I think it's just the fact that it's a simple 2D game that's, you know, there's some puzzles involved that you have to figure out, so you got to use your brain. You know, it's not just a mind-numbing game. There is thought that goes into it with the puzzles and figuring out how to do things, but it's simple enough to where you don't really need to try very hard. You know what I mean? It's a good game to just sit back and relax, and there's good visuals too. Like the way that they did the graphics for this little yarn game are kind of impressive. They're not like super cartoony looking. You know what I mean? But yeah, the first 2 levels, I pretty much already know what I'm doing on these. There are a couple different things that you can do for like speed running and stuff like that are a little different than like, you know, a normal playthrough of it, but I'm not going to do any of that. I'm just going to do these how they, I think, are intended to be done. Yeah, the swing mechanics are a little different in this one than they were in the second one. And you'll see I've got this long tail that just never goes away. So far, I think I like the second one a little bit better. Mainly because it was a good co-op game to play. It's not quite the same without a partner, but it's still a pretty good game. so far I've enjoyed what I have played. And it's kind of cool too, because these little like yarn points, like this one here, they serve as checkpoints. So if I like die or don't finish the level and fire the game back up, then that's where I would start, is at that yarn point. Gotta build us a bridge of apples for Yarn Boy to get across. Now we just wait for the water to fill up, the apples to float, and then we can continue on. I'm probably only going to get through maybe the 2 levels that I've already done. I might get through a 3rd, I don't know yet. Kick that chair back so we can get up here on this windowsill and run across these flowers here. Another checkpoint. And now we get to ride a bike. Well, kind of. Yeah, we do get to ride a bike. So once this gate opens... Surfing Yarny! Ugh! Face plant. Hey, how's it going, Blues? I need a little break from the Twin Snake speedruns, so... I actually got this game and the second one on sale for like $6 for the pair. The second one is actually a co-op game where there's 2 of them and you gotta work together. And that one was really fun for me and my wife to play through. The first one is single player only, but it was a good game. Yeah, the visuals are really impressive for it being a little Yarn game. It's a good like little 2D side scroller. Yeah, it's a platformer. It's just, you know, some puzzles and stuff you got to figure out and things like that. Really simple, nice to look at. The soundtrack of the second one was actually really cool. They did good work with the soundtrack. After like running Twin Snakes for, you know, the last like 3 months basically with almost no break, I needed something that was a little simpler to focus on, you know? But once I actually get through this game and learn the levels and all that, Yeah, I'm not really a big platformer guy myself, but I got both of these games, you know, on a real cheap sale, mainly because it looked like something simple that my wife and I could enjoy playing together, and we had a blast with the second one. And so I was like, you know what, I'm going to try out the first one, because, you know, the second one was a lot more enjoyable than I expected it to be. But once I finish this game, because it's not a very long game, I think we finished the second one in like maybe 7 hours or so. I actually might start speedrunning this one. So I've actually already started working on an auto splitter for this one, and it's a bit of a pain. But it's got like, the story isn't, there is a story in it too, and it's one of those, like, you know, touching stories and stuff like that. It's well done. I can appreciate what they did here. I do like the second one better so far. So, like, the game opens with this, like, old lady. She looks like she lives on her own. And every one of these, like, missions starts on, like, a picture frame. And so, like, every mission that you do, you get to go through, like, this scrapbook of pictures and stuff. So I'm sure, you know, we'll see more of it and get more, maybe, of this old lady's memories and things like that as time goes on, and put together the story. I don't think that she would have the patience to learn a speedrun, because they can be an absolute pain. But we did play the second one together all the way through, and this one is single player only. Yeah, if you go back through my Twitch channel and my past broadcasts, you'll see we named it. We actually named our little yarn dudes. Mine was Yarnapold, named after Leopold, and hers was Yarnica. So it was I think 5 streams that we did called The Adventures of Yarnapold and Yarnica, and it was all of Unravel 2. We beat the whole game. So it was, we had a really good time with it. I just wish this one was co-op too. And like the second one, you could actually like customize the way your little yarn dude looks and everything. And there was like these challenge levels that you could like unlock other like customizable parts for them and stuff like that to change the way they looked. Hiya! Now we get to fly a kite. Go up, go up. All right. Ah! Missed the checkpoint. I'm not sure what engine this was built on, to be honest with you. I know it's published by, I don't know how I just did that, but I know it's published by EA. The developer was like a small indie developer, but they got like a publishing deal with EA for this game. So, unfortunately, I bought it on Steam, but I still have to launch it through the gross EA launcher. Yeah, he slowly runs out of yarn, and in the second one, that doesn't happen, and you don't have this, like, long tail everywhere either. Ugh. Yeah, I enjoy these games probably more than I should, but you know what? There's no shame in it. I like my little yarn dudes. Oh yeah, you're good, man. I didn't notice if he actually got slower or not when he runs out of yarn, but that would be kind of funny if he did. We don't want him to get wet. He'll drown if he gets wet. Ah. I've already done the first 2 levels so I could do some testing on the auto splitter that I was working on. So I'm already pretty familiar with these. But beyond this 3rd level, I know nothing. If it's anything like the second game, I think the second one had 7 chapters. Ah, he drowned. Yeah, I'm not sure on that one. But yeah, he drowns, which is unfortunate. Oh no! Oh, come on. Whoops. I'll tell you what, these little yarn dudes, they go through some shit in the second one, though. Burning buildings and all kinds of stuff. It was pretty nuts. Collectible over there and I want it. Got it. Although now I'm gonna have to do that whole section over again. Well, at least this section. I did get the collectible though. Yeah, it's like this. I like the soundtrack in these games too. They go from like just really like chill, relaxing background music. In the second one, there's actually a level where you have to outrun a turkey, and there's like this really cool background music to it. Like the soundtrack is really nice. It can be relaxing and tense at the same time, depending on what's going on in the level. It was just it's a nice game to just sit back and relax and chill. And considering that I'd been, you know, pretty much running Twin Snakes for so long, you know, for the last like 3 months, multiple times a week, it was just, I needed a break. And I was going through Steam, checking out some of their game sales, and happened to see the second one was on sale in the bundle and all that. Grabbed it, enjoyed the shit out of it, so I'm like, alright, I'm gonna play this one too. I can't get around that crab. He always hits me, but because I get the checkpoint first, everything works out alright. Hiya! This part's kind of a pain. It took me a little bit to figure this out. Push this buoy down here, get it underneath here, and then jump on top of it. Bring it over there, let it sit there. Gotta climb up here and make another bridge. Water will bring that up for us, and then we can just push it over our nice little yarn bridge. Just about done with this second level, so I probably will get to the third one today. No, it's not really all that. And it's funny, in a lot of the in the second game, a lot of the puzzles, we actually made them a lot harder than they needed to be. So yeah, it's not a very hard game. It doesn't take a lot of thought, and I mean, there is puzzles and stuff to figure out. But even then, it's once you get through the puzzle, it's you can kind of just chill for a little while, and it doesn't take a lot of effort to get through the rest of the game. Like, there's a couple decently hard puzzles throughout each level, and then the rest of it's kind of just chill. I like this part, though. I get to drive a boat. Well, not necessarily drive a boat. It's more like just ride a boat. But either way, I get to be on a boat. Oh, I think there was another collectible over here. Whoops. And I can't get that jump down. I've done it before. First time I played through this level, I was able to, that's how I found out there was a collectible on the other side. It's like, you gotta, the jumping is not like super precise, but you know, you gotta get the right angle and the right momentum and all that kind of stuff. I need more string, that's all. There we go. There it is. Just about done with this level. Fire up that engine. Pull on that. Cut the rope. And we're off. Sailing, Yarny. And there's level 2. It's like in the first one, you went through like these portals and stuff. So like at the end of the level, I think there was a portal that you'd go through. In this one, you get these little like yarn, like crocheted mementos or something like that. So with this one being the sea, you get a little fish. The first one was Thistle and Weeds, so it was like a garden scene, so you got like a little crocheted flower out of it. And every one of these that you get and put on this little scrapbook, you can then go through here and see the pictures that like relate to that. Some places lie far, far away from all worries, all troubles. They are treasures. So here you got, there's the kite. Looks like there's the crabs that we had to deal with. So like the pictures almost give you like, and there's the little like crocheted yarn fish and the boat. So it's like the pictures in each of these scrapbooks, it looks like, and these look to me like real pictures. Like these, I don't know if maybe like the developer or the producer or somebody on the team like used actual pictures and then like developed the game, you know, based off of these, because, you know, obviously there's the kite. You know, and they're out at the beach with crabs and all that kind of stuff. So I wonder if somebody just took like their own collection of photos and built a game off of it. Yeah, it doesn't give you a lot of detail is the thing. And like the second one, we were just kind of like, we don't quite understand what's going on, but I'm hoping by the end of it, it'll all make sense, and it did. So you just get little bitty pieces with every level. And so, like, all we know so far... Damn, I only got 2 secrets on that one? But in the second one, you just got little pieces throughout each individual level. So you can kind of figure out a little bit what was going on, and then at the end, it kind of tied everything together. And you're kind of like, okay, I get the point now. So this level I haven't done yet. Hold on one second. This game actually doesn't have an auto splitter made for it, so I joined the Unravel speedrunning Discord and was I asked if there was any auto splitters for it, and there isn't one. Not a script-based or image-based one, so I'm just gonna take it upon myself to make one. And I was having some issues with the initial start of it, and so I had to just figure out how they wanted it to start and things like that. And so once I posted my last update, they're like, hey, you want to share that? And I'm like, well, that's the plan. I just got to put it through testing and actually finish it first. Whoops. Yeah, this game's been out since 2016, and surprisingly, it doesn't. But I mean, you can kind of figure out, just by looking at this game, that it's probably not the most popular speedrunning game in the world. So nobody's just put the time into the resources. And I don't know enough about script-based splitters and things like that to do one like that, like BMN did for all the Metal Gear ones. So I'm having to do it image-based. That's also a possibility. So yeah, I'm having to do an image-based splitter on this, and it has not been the easiest process. Oh, hey, cool, there's a collectible up here. Is that the only reason I did all this? Looks like it. I'm getting it figured out. It was just the start screen was giving me issues. And timing for this game, speed running it starts with oh no. Timing it starts as soon as you confirm a new game. But the main screen has like almost no differences to it compared to like the main screen and the start screen, they all look pretty much the same, so getting an image-based splitter to do what I needed it to do with a really similar screen took a little bit of work. Oh, I see. I gotta tie a knot here and here to keep the water level up. Oh, but my log is too far away, though. I need to get my log back. Let's try about there. No? Alright. So the water automatically pushes the log to the other side. Oh, I think I know. I think I know how to do this. I need to bring this over here. And tie a knot to it. So, let's tie a knot from here to here. Then open up the water. And tie a knot there. There we go. Now my log's not too far away. Okay, it looks like I'm going to need to get it a lot closer, though. And then I think I can release the knot and it'll probably float across. Alright. So, yeah, like, the puzzles here aren't that hard to figure out. At least some of them aren't. And once I get this one figured out and get through it, then it should be pretty smooth sailing from here. There we go. Now we can untie the knot and just float on. That's pretty much the extent of this game. Swinging and knots. once you start getting towards the end game, it gets, some of the puzzles are, it's not necessarily the puzzles that are hard, it's the pace that you have to do them in, because like, in the second one there was like fire and all kinds of stuff that you had to do, and like dodge, you had to dodge fire, and like, there was a lot of really time-specific stuff. Do I need my log again? I don't think I can carry my log that far. I don't think I can get back up to my log, so... Ah, there it is. I need a second rock. Yeah. Yeah, we put way more effort into some of these puzzles than we needed to. It was kind of ridiculous. We were like trying all kinds of ridiculous shit, and then it was just like, oh wow, that was simple. Not the flies! Get away from me, flies! Yeah, there was some time-specific stuff. There was... the second one was a lot of fun because it required... The puzzles required two people, you know, to figure out... to get through them, where this one's all just, you know, single player. You can play the second one solo and just, like, switch between the characters. So I'm maybe at some point I might get into that one, but for now I'm gonna focus on this one. I might get back into Twin Snakes here in like a week or two. I still haven't heard anything in regards to the MGSR Twin Snakes tournament, and I believe that was supposed to start like last week, and I never heard anything about it after that. So I'm not gonna worry too much about that anymore, which is unfortunate. Oh no! I didn't realize my log was gonna sink. Last I heard, there was only 6 signups for it. So I'm guessing it... Maybe I missed in the discussion that it was, you know, called off or something. But I don't know. That was part of the reason I was grinding Twin Snakes a lot, was because I wanted to be prepared for that. But it sounds like that's not going to be a big deal anymore. So there's really nothing like in the near future that I need to do for Twin Snakes. I am going to get back to it at some point. Yeah, it was kind of disappointing. But it is what it is. Actually, I think I need to tie this knot first. Because I do want to go back to very easy on Twin Snakes and do that, because my normal best time is like almost a minute faster than my very easy time. Plus, I do have some bigger goals for normal. I want to get down into the 53s or potentially the 52s. Whoops. Okay, I gotta stand here and release that knot. There we go. Now what? Oh, I see. Gotta make a bridge right here. Actually, I need to tie the knot here first. I think. No? Alright, cool. Yeah, I do. How am I supposed to get that? Oh, alright. Yeah, I was wondering if the hype was gonna last for it or not. I had my suspicions right away that it wasn't. Yeah, it looks like, I mean, I know Nick's still going to be running it at GDQ, so that's pretty cool. It'll be cool to see that. So there might be, maybe GDQ can bring in a couple more people. Yeah, it might, maybe Nick's GDQ run will bring some back to it, but I honestly don't know. How am I supposed to get that? Wait. I want that collectible down there, but I can't figure out how to get it. I can't push those logs out far enough. Whoops. But yeah, with the Twin Snakes hype dying off pretty quickly, I was just like, you know what? I don't really need to, you know, grind it a whole lot as much as I was. I can take a break from it and not have to worry about anything. Oh, I think I know how I gotta do that. I gotta drag these logs out, this log out. And maybe... Wait. Well, that's too far under there now. Alright. Yeah, that was the main, like, influence on grinding out Twin Snakes as much as possible, was to get prepared for the MGSR tournament, and, well, I guess now I don't need to do that. Alright, let's just move on. Thank you. Can't figure out how to get over here now. Whoops. Spent too much time trying to get that collectible. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's got something to do with the log too, but I can't figure out how to get it far enough out of there, so I'm just gonna move on instead of spending a boatload of time on it. And he's gone. There we go. I need to untie the knot, I think. I'm running out of yarn. Hopefully these buzzards will start leaving me alone. Boing. Oh, do I get to... Oh, that was another really cool thing that we got to do in the first, or the second game. We got to drive a forklift. It was pretty sweet. Oh, I don't get to drive the tractor? That's unfortunate. Okay, so clearly there's something I gotta do here. Do I gotta push this stack back over, maybe? Yep. There we go. Oh no. That is a big old moose. Cool, he took the I'm guessing those are mosquitoes, because this is a swamp. Took the mosquitoes away from me, so that's cool. Boing! Ah, there's another lasso point up there I was missing. There we go. Didn't see the other lasso point up there. Hopefully I get through this level here pretty soon, because I gotta get going. Alright. Oh hey, there's a collectible up there. Alright, I missed a checkpoint somewhere. Oh my, out of yarn already. Oh, there it is. Underneath. Okay, now that should be enough, and I feel like this level should be about over now. Yep, we're starting to see some sunlight and everything. Sunlight usually means good things. Yarny breaking trees down. Yep, we're starting to zoom in. There it is. What is that, a little yarn mosquito? Yeah, that's what it looks like, a little yarn mosquito. Found at last. Got a little yarn mosquito. It looks like a mosquito because it was a swampy area, and so I think all those flies that were flying around were mosquitoes. Yep, those are definitely mosquitoes. And there's the little yarn mosquito, too. Yeah, I can just really appreciate what, you know, the way they put this game together and all that. It's just good stuff. When I start this game up the next time, I'm gonna have to look because I think there is a little like message about like, you know, how small the development team was and things like that. Like the developers put a little message in it. Mountain Trek. Ooh, that one sounds like it'll be fun. But until next time, I unfortunately don't have time for another level. But Blues, thanks for stopping in and hanging out, man. It was good chatting with you. If you've been watching this on YouTube, at least I think I'm going to put it on YouTube. I might put it on YouTube, I might not. But either way, I got to get going and, you know, do the thing. So, been going to the same place for 10 years now, and it's getting old. But, you know, got to pay bills somehow, right? Anyway, thanks for hanging out, and I will see you all next time. Stay suave.